Welcome to Electric Current Rundown Podcast, episode number 29. And I'm your host, Phil Defiance, and I'll always say that I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spark fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. And what I'm going to be talking about in this episode includes a day in the life of a gasoline delivery trucker. And then also some small habits that will make you a more interesting person. So, when it comes to a day in the life of, or generally what it's like to be a gasoline delivery truck driver. This is based on the fact that my best friend, he's a gasoline delivery truck driver. And this is based on some information I read about interesting topics to talk about on a podcast. And basically what it was saying was to do this kind of thing, show people what it's like in an interesting perspective, from someone that's got an interesting life or is doing an interesting job. So the first thing that I thought about, because I've talked about my own experiences in the warehouse industry, so I can't really tell you about myself, so I was thinking, why not talk about what my best friend has told me as a gasoline delivery truck driver. It's kind of cool. I found it to be quite intriguing myself when he was telling me the stuff that he said. So that was just in personal conversations. But I'm sure a lot of people would find this to be pretty intriguing too, just the same way as I found it to be. So I could see why it was a suggested topic for podcasts anyway. So of course, okay. Well, either way, okay, I live in a major city, obviously, because if you've heard a few of my podcasts before, you must have heard me mention it before. I live in the fourth largest city on the continent, and that's Toronto in Canada. It's a massive city. We got 10 million people. It's a huge metropolis. Not the city itself by itself. We got the surrounding area, the direct surrounding area, that's the GTA, and then we also got what's known as a Golden Horseshoe, which is exactly what I just said, 10 million people. Huge. Not a small population at all. And people that know about Toronto, they know that, this part of Canada, they know about Toronto, but they don't know about the surrounding cities. Okay, I'm going to continue on that topic, and there's a reason why I brought that up. It has a relation to this topic of a gasoline truck delivery driver. But okay, so before I continue on that, I'm going to go on this quick break. So on this quick break, I'm just going to say, everybody likes really good designs, as well as knowing your online order will come quickly. Go to planebold.com to get the designs you desire. Your order will come quick like you expect. And while you want quick delivery, you'll have the patience for your order, because when it does come, you're going to have the kind of design you'll love. It will make you stand out, and people will notice, and you'll love that. Go to planebold.com. That's plain like airplane, planebold.com. But yeah, so the surrounding cities of Toronto, like I said, it's 10 million people in the surrounding area all the way through to the Golden Horseshoe. But the surrounding cities in general, like Markham, Vaughan, Brampton, Mississauga, and even a few others. These are large cities too. Toronto's the big one right here, but the cities that surround Toronto are huge too. And that's the funny thing. These are large cities surrounding Toronto, but people in America, and people in places like Calgary, or other parts of Canada, maybe Halifax, on other parts of the continent, whether you're in Canada, the other side of Canada, or somewhere in the middle of America, of course you know about Toronto, the fourth largest city, but on the continent, but most people haven't heard about those surrounding cities that surround Toronto. And plus, I mean, I'm in one of the 5 boroughs of Toronto. That's Scarborough, which is actually a lot better than downtown. I don't like downtown too much. I mean, I used to go there a lot, but either way, okay, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. But, like, I mean, people that haven't heard about, like, places like Markham and Brampton and all the way down south to St. Catharines and a few cities down there that got, like, 500,000, 600,000 people in Hamilton. Like large cities. And then Vaughan, it's like 900,000. Mississauga, so the same number. Brampton, the same number. Like all these cities. We got several cities surrounding Toronto that literally have almost 1 million people in them. And like, I mean, that's funny too, because like think of cities like St. Louis or like New Orleans, like 500,000 people in New Orleans, well, or New Orleans, So, like, I mean, literally Brampton, Mississauga, Vaughan, right beside Toronto, got more people than New Orleans. And, like, everyone knows about New Orleans. That's 500,000 people. But nobody outside of the Toronto area really knows about Vaughan or Mississauga or Brampton. And these cities are bigger than New Orleans. But nobody knows about them. But they're big cities. Big cities. Like almost 1 million apiece. But like, I mean, the reason why I brought that up, I didn't even realize that would have taken that much time. But either way, the reason why I brought that up was because what my friend told me, that like, I mean, he, as a truck driver for gasoline delivery, he goes to this large yard to get his gasoline pickups. And like, he ends up like reeing up or getting a supply for his big truck. I mean, like, yeah, from that yard, a huge yard, like not a little yard, no, a large, big yard. I mean, he the way he described it, this is definitely one of the most intriguing parts about it, is like the way that he described it is that, like, I mean, it's not like 1 or 2 trucks that go into this. I mean, it's like, oh, it's a yard where several companies, several big companies. I mean, obviously, if you're in America, you don't know about the ones that operate in Canada really as much. Although, I mean, I've been into the States. I've been to 15 U.S. states in my life. So, I mean, I have seen a couple, like, locations in America, like, of Shell, especially Shell, that, yeah, that exists in America. I've seen them a bit here and there, That's a big one in Canada, though. Yeah, I mean, I've been to 8 provinces, too. So, I mean, I see Shell everywhere in Canada. And then, like, yeah, I mean, I've seen it in America, too. And I think I've seen at least one Petro-Canada, which is kind of funny to see that in America. I think I have. But, that's not common in America. I mean, a gas station with a word Canada in it. Or I think it was, well, either way, I swear I saw at least one. But that's it. But of course, I mean, that's expected. I mean, Petro-Canada in America, right? And that's not going to fly. And I was surprised to even see that one. But either way, I mean, so Americans don't really know about, like, the gas companies that operate in Canada. Okay, but either way, before I continue on that, I'm going to go on this quick break. And on this quick break, I'm going to say how great it is watching video. Sorry. I wanted to say this. Music is profound, whether it's your favorite artist, a one-hit wonder, or a timeless classic, you love it. Appreciate that love even more wearing quality music shirts from planebold.com. That's plain like airplane, planebold.com. And either way, I mean, like, so, like, like the big name companies over here, big name gasoline companies, they're like, it's more than one of them. Like, they're all sending their trucks to the same gasoline yard. And even smaller gasoline companies, like gas stations, they're all sending their gas drivers to this one yard. I mean, especially this one yard. There must be smaller ones, but, like, all these companies are sending them out into this one yard. And it just makes me think, like, I mean, these are big trucks. And, like, I mean, if they're sending all these trucks to this big yard and they're all resupplying at this big yard, you can imagine how big this yard must be. I mean, it's just, like, it just makes me think, like, how? Where is this yard? I mean, like, that's why I brought that topic up of, like, big cities. Like, I mean, where do they fit this place? I mean, like, there's, like, no room here. We got a huge population over here. Like, it's hard to fit a huge yard into the mix. I wonder where the hell that yard is. But either way, I mean, that must be a massive yard. And so that was an intriguing thing. And then also he told me that he goes to these gas stations, and then, like, the gas station operators, they end up, like, complaining about, like, oh, you're late, or, I mean, oh, like, you didn't, like, they wanted more, or, like, they wanted less. Like, they're obligated to take if they want less, if they don't want that much, they're obligated to take a specific amount. So that's, like, intriguing information as well. So, like, I mean, there's many cool things. And also, like, I mean, he has, like, a computer system in his truck. It's got, like, AI, but that was at one company, and then he switched to the next company, and in the next one they got lower end technology. So I found that to be interesting as well. So, I mean, either way, okay, to finish off the episode, I wanted to say this quick stuff about this other topic about small habits that will make you a more interesting person. I mean, like, I'll just get into a couple aspects of it, and then I'll finish off on the next episode. And that includes, I mean, if you want to be interesting, you got to be curious, and you got to ask questions, the right interesting questions to people, and people will find just those two things alone to make you more interesting. So if you want to make more friends, or keep your friendships going, like, to make your friends think that you're even, like, more intriguing of a person, whether it's that with your current friends, or if you want to meet new friends and make new friends, just those two things alone, like being curious, like finding things out, and just asking the right types of questions will help you, like, in those ways, like, get new friends or make you even more interesting to your already existing friends. But okay, I'm going to talk more about that on my next episode either way. So, that's the end of this episode number 29, with your host, Phil Defiance, and that's the Electric Current Rundown, my podcast. And I'll always say, I'm here to encourage I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spark fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. So, till next time, have a good one.